Kelly, and I am back with my final December daily video of 2024. So this is the album flip through. Hang on just a second. I'm going to need to get the stream up so that you guys can talk to me and vice versa. Except it's being a little difficult because, why wouldn't we want to do that on the last day? So I had a few things to get done today before I could come on and do our live. Oh my goodness, it's just saying, this is taking forever, sorry. Sometimes I just have to delete the stream and start over, which I don't think I have to do. I just think I have to delete. There we go. Now it's up. All right. So 2024, I have it on the album. I wanted to do it in the dark green, but I didn't have anything in dark green small enough. So I did it in mint from the Ellie Studio stickers. So at least it's, hey, hi Krista. So it's still at least in green. So we're going to go through this album, and you are going to see my album pretty much totally finished, because I have a little bit to add to it today. So here we go. Scrapbook.com album. This is the second year I've used this album. They make it in this red, and they make it in a true Christmas green as well, which is just beautiful. I'm going to take this and see if I can get this. There we go. Just so I have to worry less about getting anything out of frame. So here are my first two pages. The past few years, I have definitely been doing a Hello December opening page. I tend to do my album now from December 1st through January 1st. At some point, I was doing it at Thanksgiving, like Thanksgiving Day through January 1st, but I've kind of stopped that now, just because it seems that week between Thanksgiving or whatever the time is between Thanksgiving and the 1st there's not as much going on. So anyway, just a Google image that I took from the internet and then printed. Story here is about my advent calendars. This Gilmore Girl advent calendar, would never do that again. There is a book version of this, excuse me, that I've heard as well. That's not great. So definitely staying away from this. It was lots of little stickers, basically. It's like stuff I would never use, patches, that kind of stuff. It wasn't all that fun. And then just some stickers from Ellie Studio and paper from Ellie Studio. And then back here, I repeated that paper again as well and talked about my online advent calendar from Jody Lawson. Lawson was her last name, that a friend got me, and it was Paris themed. So you went through Paris, you found Santa every day, there was a game or something fun to do every day. That was a blast. I would definitely do that one again. And this is just an Ellie Studio card that I took a piece of washi and then a puffy sticker and a Christmas magic sticker. And up here I did a puffy star sticker and another just phrase sticker. So that's what that is. Story number 2 on December 2nd was about us getting together for my boyfriend's sister, Kelly, her birthday. So we got together and had dinner. And so just a big 4x6 photo, and then just a card, regular card. This is an older one from Ellie Studio because it's got from when they were still making 12x12 collections, because it's cream and not white. And then another 3x4 card here And then some banners and pieces I got. This is Ellie's Studio. These are the banners from the White Christmas collection that I used some of the pieces from. A little date down here, and off we go. This is for December 3rd, and I usually try to read Christmas books during this time. And I took a picture of my book stack in front of the Christmas tree. The only thing, well, I didn't read Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna, and that's because one of my good friends saw my post about this and told me that it's actually a really sad book and not about Christmas, but I am reading it now, right now, and it's really good. But oh yeah, that would have been bringing me down. So I didn't read that, and I did not read The Sugar Queen either, which is not necessarily Christmas themed, but I thought would be fun to read at Christmas. The one thing I noticed in my book reading is I didn't have any fun like Christmas romances, so I won't do that again. I seem to read much slower. They didn't go as fast this year. So then this is all LA Studio paper. One of the circles from the kit or from this year's release, and a phrase, and then a nice book stack there. And then the currently reading 3x4 card that matched the book stack as well, which was exciting. Then December 4th, I didn't have a lot going on this day, so I used a fun horizontal page protector from Simple Stories that I happened to have, and took pictures of decorations in my room, and then created this little card that I still do love, using ornaments and a couple of label stickers, and then a piece of paper from an older collection. So I just thought that was fun to get something different, a different size. I used a lot of this particular page protector this year, where I had a 4x6 and 2 3x4s. Definitely had two favorite page protectors this year. And then this December 5th story, where I actually did use one of the big numbers this year. And I think I've said that I really didn't enjoy those numbers. They were really too big a lot of times, especially as they got into 2-digit numbers. It wasn't so bad if it was just a one digit. But I went to my boyfriend's house and we watched a Packer game, and unfortunately they lost to the Lions that day. But I again took a 4x6 card, and then this part you could journal on, but I actually created a little vignette here with some LA Studio, and then the winter, Christmas, I can't remember what the name of that. Wait, Christmas. And then a Bah Humbug card, because they usually have one now every year, which I kind of like, because, you know, Christmas isn't always all completely fun. The story for the 6th was my time when my boyfriend and I went to babysit my grandkids. And so I actually divided, because I didn't take very many pictures. I was very in the moment that day. So there were really just two kind of good pictures. So I took this 4x6 card and then just added the photo and made just a little cluster here with some chipboard phrases again, another 3x4 card, and then some chipboard hearts and puffy hearts and that kind of thing, and then the number there. And I talked about this quite a bit in the last couple days, and that is that I mix my numbers up for a couple different reasons. I like having sizes and colors that are different to play with, but I also go through where I'm going to have day 32 for sure. So it would look weird if at the end of my album all of a sudden I had a different numbering system on the very last day or last couple of stories, if you want to look at it that way. So that's one of the reasons I do that, but it's kind of fun to have that option. Number 7, the story behind this is us going to a little local holiday celebration in a local town to us, and then driving around to see some Christmas lights. And I saved, we had Tom and Jerry's. And the fun part about that is that's a big part of my growing up because my dad's name was Tom and his brother's name was Jerry. And so this was a traditional drink in our house at Christmas time. So that was kind of or at my family celebrations, really. So that was really a fun thing. And I saved the liner for the cup and then did a little bit of decoration and the number on one side and then journaled on the other side with one of the die cuts from this year's Ellie Studio collection, which was something kind of fun. And then here I used puffy stickers on both of these and some more phrase stickers from the collection. I really found, again, this year that I was enjoying using either these phrase stickers from this year or which were really die cuts, or the actual phrase stickers themselves. So I really enjoyed that. Day number 8 was just a little bit of a story about shopping and getting some things really that I needed, some basics. This wasn't a Christmas shopping adventure. So my cart full at Kohl's, again, using more of those stickers, some chipboard this time to bring in some of this blue, and this plaid paper that I really loved. I do still have quite a bit of that left over. I used it a lot in the first couple days and then went away from it for a while and then came back to it at one point too. And then using a 4x6 piece of paper, but just adding a 3x4 card and then doing another little sort of embellishment cluster there to tell this story. On the 9th, I did these paper journaling pieces came with this year's release. Although the paper had a 6x8 paper with a red one and a green one on it as well. So you could cut that if you wanted to do it that way. In this case, and I didn't reinforce these holes, they look okay. I did it on a later one. But I did all the journaling here, the number, a couple of stickers, and then here's the actual photos from there's just 2 of them here. And then what I did is I cut a 3x4 sheet where there would be 4 3x4 photos, cut it in half so I could have this arrangement of photos. And then I just came back later on after I had kind of waited a few days because I think I was not feeling that well when I did this page. I knew I kind of wanted this arrangement, and I added this later on, although I kind of knew I was going to do it because I had pulled this navy paper, talked about a navy paper. So I just did a string of lights, and this was from last year's Echo Park Happy Holidays collection. And then this is one of those phrase die cuts as well, but it was longer, so I just cut it off to the size of that card. And then just stickers here and hearts on the photos. This is something we do every year, although we did it a little bit differently this time that we walked through it versus we drive through it normally, and the walkthroughs were a fundraiser. So added that in. This actually took place before December 1st, but because this is sort of usually a Christmas season to us in the start of the Christmas season when we do these walkthroughs, I included this in the book. The next day on the 10th, this story is about an early Christmas present that my boyfriend gave me. He gave me a digital air pressure gauge for my tires. It had turned very cold at this point, and he gave it to me because I knew I had to put air in my tires because I got a tire warning light, which if you don't live in a cold climate, you won't understand this, but when the temperatures go down, your air pressure goes down in your tires as well, and you have to fill them up more. That's a typical thing that we run into, something we're used to. I can put air in my tires, no big deal. But the ones at the gas stations are usually not very accurate. And I'd been wanting this and asked for it for Christmas on a wish list. And he gave it to me early so that I could test the pressure of my tires in my garage and then know if I had to fill them all or just one, which was really sweet and nice. And just that's who he is as a person, is he thinks a lot about other people besides himself. And that's not just with me, but other people. So this day is really just a 3x4 card and a picture of the tire pressure gauge, and then a little on my wish list puffy sticker, because that was on my wish list, and some hearts, some chipboard again because it's a present, and then a little phrase sticker that says an early present and the little details. Day 11 is where, excuse me guys, I'm trying to go without medication today, and it's been all day, so I feel pretty good, but you can tell that I haven't had medication because I'm coughing a little bit more. But this is the day that I told the story of my ornaments from this year. Some of them that I bought myself, and some of them that I bought while I was in Paris. This is a specialty page protector that you can get at scrapbook.com, and it has this flip out to it where you can get 4 additional 3x4 pictures. In this particular one, you can also get 4 3x4 page protectors here, and then also photos here, and then another 4 here. So you can actually get 12 photos or 12 3x4 pieces, because in my case, I used it to talk a little bit about, use some 3x4 cards in there as well. Date sticker, phrase sticker. I talk about this. There is obviously a process video for each of these. And then I came back and journaled about all of the different ornaments that I bought in Paris. Yeah, Krista, they are wonderful. The other thing I didn't say is they also have them where you have, this is a whole 4x6 and this is a whole 4x6. So you would have 4 4x6s back to back. And I do have those, but I didn't use one of those this year. I didn't take a lot of horizontal photos, so I don't know if I ever even used that type of page protector. I definitely could tell. I put away the page protectors this morning and could definitely tell that my love was for the 2 4x6s with or 2 3x4s with the 4x6 under it, and then the 4 3x4s, which I think was also common last year as well. I never used my 4x4 square page protectors at all. So anyway, so this flips out, which is really nice. And then I did something special back here as well. That this is obviously 3x4 card, but this is a flip up that I got from Creative Memories. There are ways you can do this yourself as well, because you could take washi tape and do this. I think Simple Stories has these as well too. I happen to have quite a few of them from Creative Memories. Right now I have a really good friend who's a Creative Memories consultant that I do my scrapbook retreats with. And so I've got lots of stock of that. Here's my other favorite page protector with 4 3x4 cards. So this one was kind of 2 different stories on the 12th. One of them was that I went out and had went out because my hairstylist is about an hour away from where I live, but I had my hair cut and colored that day. So I just took a picture of her, what she had done in the style. And then we did a Rotary Christmas party for my boyfriend's Rotary chapter. So I wrote about that as well. And then that day was the beginning of a really cold snap that we went through. So it was 1 degree when I got up in the morning that day, which was, I think it was between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. And I went into my winter stash here and grabbed, actually that's not true. I did not do that. I went into my winter stash somewhere else. This is actually paper from that winter collection that I had with snowflakes. And then some of the snowflake stickers from a few of the past collections here. And again, more Ellie Studio 3x4 cards. The next day, on the 13th, we did a little wine walk fundraiser with my sister and brother-in-law and my boyfriend and I. So I did the making the list theme here, because besides an extra 4x6 photo here, I also have the list of the places that you could go for the wine walk and the wines that they were serving. So that's kind of where this idea came from. And then I used a filler card here and added a little puffy sticker on top of that to make it look a little bit like a Christmas tree. So I thought that was kind of fun. I love stuff like this in my book, where I have extra pages and inserts and that kind of stuff. So what I did with this is I just printed a photo, and this is cell phone size, with some enforcements here. And these are, this is a We Are Memory Keepers punch, just in case you didn't see me use that. And then on the back, I just did like a little mini scrapbook page with a little sort of embellishment cluster there, and then talked about family time together here. This was kind of our Christmas celebration because my sister and brother-in-law went out and spent the holidays with my mom, actually. So I love the kind of just extra little piece on the back of this photo. And I do, as much as I want to keep stuff safe in here, and my grandkids, especially my oldest grandson, will look at these. So I want to keep stuff safe, but I also want it to be touchable, if that makes any sense. I did not do any embellishing on this other than adding in some reinforcing holes on this. I think last year I had the same sort of map and I did a little bit of decoration. There's so much going on this. There was really not a lot of room for that. All right. The next day, on the 14th, the story here is, and I was looking for my date. There's my date. This is an older sticker from Ellie's Studio. I was not feeling very well that day. Whatever is going on that they still have not figured out was kind of had me laying low that day. So I was reading The Giver by Lois Lowry because my grandson, 12-year-old grandson, or will be 12 tomorrow, year-old grandson, was reading it with his class. And they just went back to school and they weren't quite done with it. So I talked to him about it at Christmas, but he wasn't done with the book yet. I'm excited to talk to him. And then I gave my copy to my daughter-in-law so she could read it, because she read it when she was his age, but hasn't read it since. But so I like detailing some of that about, this is a great memory, will be a great memory for years to come, when I was reading the same book as he was. And then I took a 4x6 journaling card where you would normally journal here, but I made a little cluster down here, and then totally on accident, I like this little bird sticker, and sort of jokingly or whatever, I put it on here and it worked so well, I left it because I really love how this looks. And then took again an older Ellie Studio card because it has the cream on it, but I like that this cream and this cream work together. I don't love doing just one touch of cream on a page, because then it looks like you didn't do it intentionally. This way it looks like it was intentional. But then to bring this card into sort of the whole thing, I added this sticker here as well, and then added some enamel dots on each card just to bring this story together. On the 15th, I ended up, I'm going to take that, and that twine does not want to stay down. Excuse me. I showed the book that I was reading again, and this is one of the Christmas books. It was called An Ivy Hill Christmas, which was okay. More sort of like a Regency time period, but I didn't love it. But my boyfriend had seen this nativity in, he had seen the nativity when we were celebrating with my sister and brother-in-law. I texted my sister and said, could you go pick that up tomorrow? So then the next day, I went and got it from her so that I could wrap it. And that was like his big surprise present. So that's fun to get that documented. And then because it was a bit about gifts here, I use 2 tags and gifts. And this is what I mean by when you get 2 of these numbers, they start getting really big. And this is only a 1. So, you know, the 15th versus like the 25th one was huge. The next day is my Christmas card page, and I always include the card somehow. I do it in different ways every year. This year I used an Ellie's Studio punch, or I'm sorry, die cut punch. Let me see. I've got it right here. Attacher die, metal dies. So I did that, and then just cut them out of paper and then attached them to the back of the card, and then added just a little vignette with the date and a couple of stickers here. So that's nice that I have that. And I also like this because it's got some really sweet memories of the year on it. Next is my, well, not next, but then the next part of this page is where the actual photographs go with my cards. So I documented me actually mailing them. I usually take some sort of photo. Hey, Jennifer. I usually take some sort of photo with my cards in front of the tree, and then me actually putting them in the slot. This special delivery phrase was from last year's Ellie Studio collection. And then I use like a filler card here with a phrase sticker and some more of those snowflake stickers to bring it back to this page. And then here's my actual journaling up here. And again, 4 3x4s, repeating this constantly. The next story for the 17th was wrapping, and I used another filler card, and I don't know if you remember this, but when I saw these pieces early on, I pulled out this card and the scissors and this wrap, and I tucked them into my album in a 6x8 page protector because I knew I would want to use those, and I didn't want to forget them. So I do that often. You saw me do that quite a bit during the process. That's what I usually do to just help me remember that they're there, instead of just like leaving them on my desk, which I will do that if I find something I can use it next day, but a lot of times it's a few days out. So here's the filler card, the 2 photos of me in the wrapping process, and then all the gifts wrapped with some phrase stickers, some chipboard presents, and then a card that was really meant to talk about like what you purchased, but in my case I just used it to journal on, because this is, you know, much the same every year. And then did a little embellishment cluster here with some puffy stickers and a label and that. And then this is a bag I've had for years. They're treat bags. And then I put the list, my gift list, with everybody's name and what they bought and how much it was. And then the receipts are in this bag. And I did, so, you know, you wonder, like, am I going to ever use that again, or are we going to look at it? Because those receipts aren't going to last forever. I didn't spray them with anything special, so they will probably fade, but I'm not worried about that. I actually did go back into last year's album and look at the card because I didn't remember how much I spent on something, a gift for someone, because I knew I kind of wanted to spend about the same amount of money, and I was able to do that. Again, that We Are Memory Keepers reinforcer punch as well. That I don't use that a ton during the year, but it's super valuable during Christmas for me. The next day, the 18th, was a story about my amaryllis, which this is, it eventually had 6 blooms on it. It was just beautiful. And I've never had one of these before, but it's just a wax bulb. You never water it. It just grows. And I never had one. It was so cool. A client gave it to me. So I took pictures every so often to show her where mine was. And it's one of those things that was giving me joy. So I used this joy filler card and then took a 4x6 piece of paper, created a little vignette and a journaling piece, added some stickers and die cuts to it, and that was the page. And it's just, it makes me smile when I look at this. So these are, you know, some of the little things that brought me joy. This is where I went to my winter envelopes of paper and things like that. So we got some snow, about 4 inches of snow. I think this was our biggest snowfall during the Christmas season. So I grabbed a card, and there wasn't really room to journal on this, but I at least could date it. There was a snowflake on here, and then I added a sticker and a little enamel, some enamel hearts in here. This wood grain snowflake paper is an older collection, but I had it in my Christmas stash of stuff, and then added some other, like this sticker and that sticker, and I think these stickers are all from the same collection, and then these are Ellie's Studio, so added that in for a wintry page. And then I do have blue in here, but it wasn't a predominant color, but I like to use blue on my, I love to use blue and red on my snowfall pages. Well, I had the next night, I went out to dinner with a friend, and I didn't know how this was going to work. I thought maybe I might need to put some vellum in between the two, that I wasn't going to like the layouts together. But I think this one has just enough blue in it that I'm going to leave it as it is, and I'm not going to use any vellum here this year, which is just amazing. I did use vellum once, but not the way I normally do. There were some things that I normally do that I just didn't do this year, which it's kind of nice. It makes it a little bit different. So a journaling card, and then just a 3x4 piece of paper here. And then just trying to think, is this? Yeah, this is one of the flip outs, but this is actually kind of like the normal back side of the flip out. But just a little bit of a, just a Christmassy thing, because I have a picture of my drink and a picture of the restaurant we ate at, and just a little journaling card to remember who it was and what we did. Another flip out here. Now this time I've turned it upside down, because normally it would go like this, but I turned it upside down so that I could, or actually I think normally it might be like this. Yeah, yeah, anyway. So I'm using it this way, which the other one I used, I guess it's this one. The one that I used on the ornament page is the one that I actually turned upside down. Kind of, I don't know. Anyway, you can use them either way. That's what, thanks, Barbara. Yeah, that was ugly. Anyway, so turn this over, and a light show that we normally do. We went to do that. We stopped by a ski hill, which is just a funny little story, but it was beautiful. They were making snow because it was so cold. So I wanted to just get that documented. And then this is what we went out to eat first. So this is what I had to eat. And then just a little journaling card there. The sights and sounds of the season, because they play music through this show. And the snowmaking equipment makes a decent amount of noise. And then I added just a little label sticker sort of on the middle of the bottom of this card, just for something a little bit different. And then just did a little label kind of cluster up here for something just a little bit different. One of my older date stickers from Ellie's Studio, and then phrase stickers and die cuts. I was really again, this year was really into phrase stickers. Oh, Krista's commenting on the Packer loss too. Yeah, well, as we have a text that goes back and forth between my brother-in-law, my boyfriend, me, and my sister, and as one of us said, they didn't deserve to win that game today. So, and it's not going to really affect anything anyway. So, whatever. I do have my jersey on. I don't know if you can tell that, but I do today. Okay. Back to December Daily. This one, day 22, was all about me making sugar cookies, which is something I do every year. This is the 51st year that I've done it, so it was kind of fun that, you know, I continue to make them and document. I only made one batch. It made like 12 or 14 cookies, and that was it. And Um, but I still got to taste them. I used some old enamel badges, and I can't remember who made those. You can ask me, or I talk about them in the video too. And added some phrase stickers, and then just the little tiny date sticker. And then I loved this filler card from Ellie's Studio, and then it had a really cute matching kind of journaling card. So that was kind of fun. And there's a lot going on in these photos, so I didn't need a lot of embellishment. And again, 4 3x4 cards, because that was my favorite. And then I had been telling my friend who likes to drink Bailey's Irish Cream in her coffee about these chocolate chip cookies that I made. And on this video for the 23rd, I held the recipe up so that if you want it, you can get it there. So that's December 23rd. So I also have the recipe here. So I took a picture of both sides of the recipe and then just used the Ellie Edwards attachers here and put them into the book this way. I suppose you could cover this with paper, really. And then I haven't even thought of doing that before. I might like them a little bit better if I did that. But the nice thing about this is they're very sturdy. Did a little bit of embellishing on the card with some washi tape, a phrase sticker, and then just a die cut. And then back here again, some washi tape and a little puffy sticker. Here I used another baking filler card, and then another baking journaling card, and then pictures of the cookies and some label stickers from a kit that's a few years old. And that just all made me happy. Story for and that was the 23rd, right? Yep. Story for the 24th. It was a very quiet Christmas Eve. Again, I was not feeling completely well that day. I would go back and forth where I'd feel good and I didn't feel good. And I just kind of stayed on the couch. Here I'm reading another one of the Christmas books, so I have that documented. I also love this Santa pillow. I talk about that a little bit later. But I love that Santa pillow, so I kind of like this view because it reminds me of what I looked at a lot this particular season. I added a journaling card where you normally journal down here, but put a chipboard piece on the outside of Santa and his reindeer because they were getting ready to fly. And then a phrase sticker down here. And then on top of the journaling card, I added another chipboard sticker and another sticker that just said this was a quiet day. And here's those big numbers that I thought was, yikes, you know, they are huge when that takes up a lot of a 3x4 page. So anyway, so that's kind of, you know, just getting that documented. On the 25th, we went to my boyfriend's house and celebrated with his family, and we opened our presents. So I documented my traditional sugar cookie breakfast, although I had more than that. My presents from my boyfriend, and then this is his nativity that he went home that night and set it up right away, and really, really loved that present. There were a couple of things that I did. It was like a home run for presents this year for me. So, but I've been keeping you guys have seen the list. I keep it on my phone. If I think of things during the year, I pop it in there. So I have to keep doing that. All right. So there's the card with notes from Christmas Day. Oh yeah. And this is notes from Christmas Eve. So at the very beginning, I pulled those 2 cards out and I put them in the back of my book again, where I was keeping things that I wanted to use later, and then pulled those before Christmas Day. And I think on the 23rd, then I pulled anything that was Christmassy, or even before that, maybe it was on the 23rd, because I pulled anything that was like Christmas Eve related or Christmas Day related, so I wouldn't forget to use them. So like that 25. So kind of just did a picture of Love Actually because we watched that movie later on that night. This is my breakfast. This is me hanging out later on Christmas morning, drinking coffee from my Christmas morning mug. Used another one of those creative memory flip outs so that I had more room. I didn't want to put another page in here. I certainly could have, but I decided not to do it. And I didn't take any pictures at my boyfriend's mom's house. So, and there were times during this holiday season where I was just in the moment and I took no photos or very few photos. However, I knew that. So on the 26th, when we had Christmas with my grandkids, I made an effort to take photos. So I'm using, again, one of those treat bags with the reinforcers, just a little die cut from Ellie's Studio, and then one of the stickers, and then a little tag. And here's where the extra photos that I didn't have room for went, and then also the journaling card that I journaled on both sides. So I kind of like, how that is. And I wrote more photos and story inside, so I would remember that's where it was. And then you can pull those out and look at them. Back side of this has another sticker, more die cuts just for some fun and love and joy. And then I had used, for this day, I had used one of the flip outs. And so I didn't want to add in another one. That's why there were so many pictures that ended up in here. And I've done that before and I'm okay. So each of these 4 represents them opening their presents from us. And then a little bit of journaling here because I have so much in this bag on that page. But I did a little vignette here. Used a tree from this year and one of the snow globe pieces and a label, and that plaid paper I brought back in here as well. Again, using more of those phrase stickers. There's so many of them, you want to use them. And then on the back side, us playing, I talked about this funny story of my boyfriend's beard and my youngest grandson. And then again, bringing that plaid back in, and then a phrase sticker, puffy sticker, or just a little embellishment cluster here. This I talked about as I went through the book. These are, each of the kids wrote us a special note. And so I thought, I really wanted to save these, and there's such sweet things. So I wrote, because it's a Peanuts card, I wrote cards from my little, in quote, Peanuts. And then just, I used, because I can't use anything on the outside of this album, I don't think it would stick. And I'm fine with that, because that's less problem on my shelf. I don't have to worry about marring it or damaging it. But I used the December 2024 in here with a little label and that, and then this heart. And then I had this on there to protect the name of one of my grandkids. So I'm going to take that out now. Oh, and I forgot to tell you. And I just ended up putting, I wasn't sure if I was going to put anything in there or not. And I just ended up putting a full 6x8 piece of paper behind it that I thought really set this off. And it made a huge difference because you really could see this cluster once I put that paper behind. And then this is the card from my stepson and daughter-in-law with some really beautiful words on it. So I saved that. And again, a piece of paper from this year behind it. Then on the 27th, I just did some photos of things that were giving me joy this year. So there's that Santa pillow. I watched my favorite Christmas cartoon-like movie, which is Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Brought some more of that plaid paper back in so that it wasn't just sticking out. And then used one of the puffy stickers. I like this, that this was one of the cards from this year that said, love this. And then I just liked how this all kind of worked together. And I remember doing this and it didn't look right until I put that little tiny fave die cut up there. And then it just made the little vignette work. Little Mary chipboard from the White Christmas collection. And then on the back of all that, and I can just see, I didn't write anything on that tag. I could. I might go in and just say who that present is from, although it's probably on here. It is. This is my new Ember coffee mug, and I think I talked about this. You guys, this is the best thing. And let me tell you, when I first put this on my list, it wasn't inexpensive, but it wasn't the $150 that they're charging for them now. But what it is this is a charging stand. It's a stainless steel mug, so it's really heavy. But I don't always love drinking out of stainless, but this one just, I don't know, it's a little bit different. I'm not minding it. It's a beautiful copper color. But what you do is you charge it up, and then you, through an app, you set it to the temperature you want to keep it at. And like, this is it when it first went in, it was 175 degrees. I've discovered I like to drink my coffee at about 140, 141 degrees. And then when it gets there, it holds it, and then it messages you to tell you that your coffee's ready. And it keeps it this way for about 2 hours if you don't have a lid on it. They make lids for these, but they're all out of them now. So I'll eventually get a lid for it. So this is another thing that brought me a lot of joy. This is the journaling card that goes with the front and the back of this page. So I added, a mug here, and little "My heart is full of joy." So it was just a little, these are the things this, that this particular season are making me so happy, those kinds of things. On the 28th, my boyfriend and I went to a pop-up, a little pop-up at a bar. Well, it's a lot nicer than a bar, because it's in a really, really, really nice resort in Wisconsin. But it was fully decorated. The ceiling was covered with tinsel and ornaments and that kind of stuff, and it was very Christmassy. They had special cocktails and special named hors d'oeuvres and that kind of stuff. We had so much fun here, just sitting and talking. And the outside of this is all windows across the back here, was all decorated outside too, and we were kind of sitting in the back corner. It was just beautiful, and I love this photo of my boyfriend. Although if he saw that, he'd probably have a fit, because he doesn't love pictures of himself. He takes them usually with me, because he said then he always says then he gets a picture of me. So, but this was just a super kind of impromptu, didn't know what it was going to be like, and it turned out really well. It was such a fun evening, little evening. And then backside, here's that ceiling again, a little "This is pure magic," and then a couple pictures of us, because they had some, Instagram little vignettes so that you could take your photos. So fun day. Oh, and the journaling for this one, I almost forgot, is on this little tag. So I love this tag. It's been one of my favorites since I got it last year. So I just added a little decoration here, and then the back. So it's all journaled on, and there's, I've got the twine on it so that it's there. And for me, because there's no journaling anything else, I would be looking for where I put my journaling. Next up for day 29 is the Hallmark movie page, which I can now officially say, since I'm here and looking at this, because this wasn't finished, and I forgot to do this, I have watched all the movies. I finished them, I think on Thursday of this week. Yeah, it was Thursday. So I can officially say I've watched all the Hallmark Christmas movies and the Hallmark mystery movies and whatever else channel, the drama channel. I get 3 Hallmark channels. So this is a piece that you can get. Just Google Countdown to Christmas 2024. You can get this with all the listings of the movies. And then I just added a couple chipboard pieces as some phrase stickers. And then it's on like a numbered paper for the countdown that was in the kit. Same paper on the back here. Used a 3x4 card, but just cut it so that I had a little space here so that I wasn't chopping it into just top and bottom. I wanted it to have more of a flow around the page, and then did a little embellishment cluster at the bottom and the top with that date. And these were my favorite my 4 favorite movies, and I just left it at that. There's not a lot of journaling I need to do here. So anything that I marked as a favorite, and there were 4 of them, is on this page. And I finally used up this Marian Bright piece that I really liked, but I kept trying to put it on a page. It didn't work. On the 30th, a friend and I met some other friends who were flying back home to Texas at a restaurant, an Irish pub, which is fantastic. I had the best meatloaf and mashed potatoes I've had in a long time. And I love meatloaf and mashed potatoes, you know, my meatloaf and mashed potatoes, which is my mom's basically. But man, it was so good. We had a good time catching up with them. I took a screenshot of the menu and then starred what I had, and then did like, again, this is like a little embellishing card that or a little journaling card that I didn't use a journaling space. I just did a little embellishment cluster with the date here. Took this off of their website because I forgot to take a picture outside. Which is too bad because it was beautiful. It looks like an Irish pub because that's what it is. And then it was all white lights, and I just forgot to take a photo. That's another one of those times again. And then use this tag journaling card and just added a little, this one I think I tried a couple of different ways to embellish this until I just settled on that snow globe sticker. That really has nothing to do with an Irish pub other than we were there like at Christmas time. On the 31st, we went to see Wicked, and my boyfriend and I, so photos of us in the theater, outside the theater. I took one snap of the movie. This is a picture of our ticket because I bought our tickets online, and just puffy stickers, and then an older date sticker from Ellie's studio. And then this is a picture, there's a story behind this. This is a picture of the table, a little coaster. It's actually a coaster laying on a table and then a paper behind it. But these we used all year long. The coaster allows you a $10 off for every $30 you spend. So we use them all year long. You get a little tin with them in, and it was a Christmas gift we both got 2 years ago, and then he got another one this year, and then we bought these last year, and then we bought one for ourselves this year and have already used one. So that's kind of a fun story. And then just a little journaling card about what we did that day. And then I think I'm trying to think if we did. No, I was trying to think if we went back and watched anything else. We didn't. We did that on another day. Little chipboard star and another phrase sticker. So this is another one of those 4 3x4 page protectors where I just cut it in half, threw the other half out because you could probably use it for some sort of flip up if you wanted to, but my thing with this is I've really used the page protector, so it can just go. And then on the back of this, I did how many books I read this particular year. And then the first 2 books are my 2 favorite books of the year. And then the next 6 are other books that were 5-star books. I think I picked about 15 top books, and even all of those were not all the 5 stars, but they were my absolute favorites out of all of them. So if you want to know what they are, my number 1 was The Frozen River by Ariel Lahan, which is a historical fiction. My next one is Love and Saffron, and I cannot remember who that is by, but oh my gosh, it's a story of friendship, really. And it's told epistolary, which means it's letters. So that was, oh my gosh, that book was so good. I read it. It was one of the last books of the year I read, and I still, thinking about that now, still love that book. There is, she's writing another book, a sequel to this, I believe, and it'll be out, I think, in March. The Light Between Oceans. I cannot tell you who the author of this is. I don't remember, but it's an older book that I just never read, and spectacular. The Giver I talked about already. As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow was, oh my gosh, just a beautiful story. And I can't remember. There's two books. As Long as Lemon Trees Grow and Sparks Like Stars are beautiful stories of women who live in countries with really hard stuff going on and what happens. So As Long as the Lemon Tree Grows and Sparks Like Stars by Sparks Like Stars is by Nadia Hashimi. That one I know for sure. Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell is a Shakespeare story, but it's a lot more than that because there's controversy about whether Shakespeare actually wrote all of his plays or not. And this book takes on that a woman actually wrote a lot of his plays. So that is a really interesting book. If you like literary fiction, that's a wonderful book. And then my number 8 book was Anne of Green Gables. I had never read Anne of Green Gables, and I don't know why it took me almost 61 years to do that. But oh my gosh, what a great book. So pulled in a card and some stickers and things like that from my envelope of book-related scrapbooking supplies. So you got a little peek at my reading year there. This is another one of those cards that came in with the kit release this year. And my reinforcing punches. These are my gifts from my clients this year. So I listed them all out. Didn't write last names because otherwise that would be not HIPAA approved. And then did this little vignette on the back of the card because I had some space here. Came across onto the 4x6 card and just carried some of the colors and motifs over here as well. But used up 3 tags. So I was really happy about that because I like the tags. And thought that was really cool. Oh, Jennifer. Yeah, Jennifer says Anne of Green Gables is amazing. It is. And I have the next 2 books here to read. So I do need to do that. If nothing else, March is on BookTube, which is YouTube, but people talking about books. It's called Middle Grade March, and I might read them both during Middle Grade March. We'll see. Anyway, so back to this. Anyway, it was such a good book. Just a little vignette here, a little label, and just wrote client gifts on that. And then the pictures of some of my client gifts there so that I can look back and remember. I just think it's fun to do that. And then, so that was day 32, day 33, which I did these together, story 33, not day 33. I did the story of my Christmas cards on my wall here, and then or on my door. This is how I see them all year, or all season. I love that. And then did a little journaling card there that says, oh, what fun and merry memories. And I I think I started doing this because of all the photo cards. So I thought that was kind of fun. And then did a 3x4 card with just some die cuts and things from that White Christmas collection too. Here is my calendar, and you can buy these separately from Ellie's Studio, but they also come with a kit if you get the kit. So just to take up a little bit of space, because this is where I was really not feeling well. And then there was some space at the end. I just took washi and then used 2 phrases there from last year, I believe. This one might be from this year, but this was from last year for sure. And I think I tried a couple of different things. That last video has a couple of, it has this layout, this, and then the next page I'm going to show you. But that was kind of fun. And then all the different things I did, when I mailed cards, when I did sugar cookies, just all those fun things to kind of just look at a snapshot of the season here. And then lastly, I love the way this page turned out. It's one of my favorite pages. And this is where I took all the circles that came with the kit this year and just put a piece of vellum on the back of this calendar so that they would have something to adhere to that didn't look quite as, I don't know, as boring as the the white back of just the card stuck. Now, there's no reason why you couldn't do that. And I kind of played around with making them fit. I was originally thinking I was going to fit 3 across. I don't know what I was thinking because I think these are 3-inch circles. If you had 2-inch circles, you would fit them across. And I had seen this idea Allie Edwards did a layout at a few years ago where she did a page like this, but then she replaced some of these circles with photos. So that would be another cool use for these if you guys get them, or if you still, I'm seeing that Krista, thanks Krista, and that Jennifer saying she didn't have any idea what to do with them. But so that on Pinterest, and I'm Kelly Oblak on Pinterest, I have a December daily pin board, and that idea is in there if you need to pop it in somewhere. And then I just took it and added 3 puffy stickers that were more shapes, and then 3 word puffy stickers that felt like love this tradition, talking about this book, grateful for this, talking about the season, and merry and bright that it is. And then there was a little, I couldn't decide if I wanted to leave just 2 or 3 things, and in the end I ended up filling both of those, which was kind of a funny thing that happened. But this page, I love the way this page turned out. And I have to remember, excuse me guys, for a 12 by 12 scrapbook page, this would be a really fun thing to do. You could put a photo in the middle of all of those somehow and just use paper. You could, lots of fun ideas for this, but love the way that turned out. And as Krista said, this is a really cool way to end the album. However, album is really not done, because I've told you guys that I have special cards that I save every year. So these cards came off my card wall. They were starting to fall down, and I decided earlier today just to pick them up and put them in. So I save homemade cards, and I understand there's one more coming. This is not a homemade one, but it expands. It's really cool. It's like is 3D. So I've saved this card from this particular person every year just because I think it's kind of fun. Homemade cards, and then this is the another homemade card, and then this is the card from my boyfriend. I understand I have another one coming, so I do have space here and haven't put any paper in here. But all I've really done is I've done back to back the same paper that kind of sets the cards off, and just tuck the cards in. And I went back and forth. Some years I've actually put it, glued it down so that it doesn't shift. But I decided not to do that. I just decided to leave it as is. This is beautiful. This is an Anna Griffin card. This is from actually my Creative Memories friend. So it's just incredibly beautiful. So, so beautiful. But anyway, that way I can just pull the card out. I don't have to pull all of them out. So thanks, Barbara. That's very sweet of you. So all I do with these, anything you want to save, like, I don't know, special cards from friends or parents, or, whatever that is, kids, I had already had cards saved. Like I said, if you want to glue that down, and you can do that, but those now sit in the back. And remember, I told you guys this was going to get really chunky. That's my album. So I really wish they had that extra 1/2 inch binding that, I'm trying to think, somebody did that for, I think either Simple Stories, I think Simple Stories did it, or they had like a 2-inch binding or a 2.5 inch binding on their Christmas albums for a little while. And I loved that because that was perfect. I got a little bit of this where it comes out, and I don't want to do 2, and they don't get handled a lot. So I think they're okay like this, and I'm not going to worry about it as it is. So that is the album. The other thing I wanted to remember to tell you is not only will this flip through, Jennifer said she uses the Simple Scrapbook, anyway, I can't think. Simple Stories scrapbooks every year. Oh, thanks, Krista. Anyway, so this will go in my 2024 December daily playlist, as everything is in that playlist. I looked today, and I have been doing daily scrapbook process videos for my December daily for 8 years, you guys. And that was 8 years ago. I didn't do them live because you couldn't yet. You had to do it and then upload it. And oh my gosh. And it took forever to upload the videos and oh, crazy, crazy, crazy. But so from 2016 to 2018, I have all those process videos. I also have a December daily album flip through, share. I can't remember exactly what that playout list is called. And all of these are in there before. And then they're all of my years. So I've been doing this. 2007 was my first December daily, and it's in there. It's that album, so you can see where I started and where I've come to now. This is, I've been doing this format for quite a few years, but I have all my albums flip throughs from 2007 until this year in that playlist, except for 2010, 13, and 14. So I wrote myself a note so that I can do a flip through of those 3 albums and get them in there when I have some time. So I'm going to just pop that there so I don't forget to do that. So you may see me come on live one day and I'm just doing an album flip through. And it's interesting because those are older. So I didn't have this kind of an album. I think in 2011, I made my, well, actually more years than that, but I've made my own albums before as well too. So, oh, thanks you guys. Thanks so much. And again, I said this at the end of the last process video that I did on the first, or on the second. So thank you. I mean, I love doing this. I love sharing this process with you. You guys are so much fun to talk to as I'm doing the albums. You have great ideas, and sometimes when I don't think of things or we're thinking about the same kind of thing. So I mean, that's really fun for me as well too, is, to work. I'm going to open this up just a little bit more. It's fun for me to work through the process that way, but I just so appreciate your support. Still planning on appearing here and there with the live scrapbooking process. I don't have any plans to go back to doing even weekly process videos right now. It's still crazy busy, and I was talking to my daughter-in-law today, and it's crazy busy, and it's not going to change anytime soon. So I think that's going on. I still have the last layout to make for my 2023 scrapbooks, which is a Disney scrapbook. And if I would sit down and get those pictures organized, I would get that done. And I am thinking I've got some time. My birthday is on the 17th of January. And I'm thinking I'm going to have some extra time maybe that weekend. And I'd really like to get that one done so I can turn their albums over to them, because I need to start scrapbooking 2024. I mean, I have started scrapbooking 2024, but I need to continue to do that. So again, you guys, thank you so much. I hope that either you're done or are in process. There's no right way to do this. Another reason I like doing it this way is because you keep me accountable, and I'm now done. And I do still have my supplies out though, because I haven't done any 12 by 12 process, any scrapbooking of the 12 by 12 photos that I'm going to have for my grandkids albums. Really, mine are done here. So, so my supplies stay out probably for another couple months until I get those process videos done. So I don't mind that I have things left over. I still have Christmas scrapbooking to do. Thank you so much, Carol. Because that's always a question for me, is what happens. But it's going to be a while before I put everything away. So, all right, you guys. Thank you again. Take care. I so appreciate you. And I will see you in my next live. Bye, everybody.